Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the show. What is the stock market going to do this week? Today is Sunday night here in Texas, just before 8 o'clock at night. January 22nd, I should say, 2023. The market is at a very critical point. It's decision time, as they say. Let's talk about the weekly chart. This is really, really important. Look at this first instead of the daily. Okay, weekly chart. This is S&P 500 futures. Got some numbers up here that are really, really important, okay? So this little candlestick right there is Sunday night futures that just opened up, right? Stock market opens up tomorrow morning here in the United States of America on a Monday, but futures open up the night before, Sunday night. So that candlestick is the first candlestick for the new week, right? Weekly chart. We're talking about the week of January 23rd. All right. Some critical numbers that we need to look at. First of all, the first one is the 50-week moving average. That's 4034. You can see it right here. It's 4033.77. We're just going to call it 4034. That's a pretty important number. Right now, we're trading at S&P 500 is trading at 3984.50. If it gets above this 50-day moving average, 50 weeks, sorry, moving average, that's a pretty big deal. Okay, so that's the first number that we're going to concern ourselves with on the weekly chart, the 50-week SMA, okay? If it gets above that, we got to pay attention. And it may do that. The second one is this one, the 4180. Why is that a big deal? Because if you look at this red candlestick right here, this one, within this cycle right here, this blue weekly cycle, okay, that candlestick right there has a high wick on it, right there. And that wick, upper wick, got above the 50-week moving average, above the upper trend line here, and stopped at 4180. Okay, if it gets above that, that means that it set a new high within this current cycle. Pretty big deal. Would be very strong. You'll notice right here, let me clear the screen of all the junk. You notice right here I say February 5th. That's down into this cycle low right here. Weekly chart. Let's see if we get the thing to play nice. Yeah, February 5th. End on 2/5/2023. Okay. I'm going to talk about this little shape right here in a moment, but first let's finish up with this next number, 4327. That one. That is a really big deal, actually, if it gets up that high. Which, we'll just have to wait to see what this does. I don't think it'll get that high, but, there's a lot going on right now in the market that there seems to be a change in the wind. Now, why is it a big deal? Because you see this previous weekly cycle, that was the high in that weekly cycle. Going all the way back to like early summertime of 2022. All right, all the way through there, and it ended like sometime in like, I guess, early October. If this weekly cycle somehow got above that, it just took off. If it just went and took off and got up to there, that changes everything. That changes a lot. That would mean at least there's a hint of this going on. You follow me? On a very long-term basis. Because look at all the highs. Let's start here. This is way back on January 2022. I think it was the first trading day of the year. Yep, January 3rd, 2022. Let's look at the highs. There's that high. What is this high? Is this high right here? above or below that one? It's below it, right? It goes down. What about this one, the next weekly cycle, this one? Where's this one? Above or below? It's down. Okay, so far this is the weekly high for that one, 4180. Is it above or below? It's down. See how it just keeps going down, right? The highs are lower. The highs keep coming down, down, down. Now this low, you know, if you look at these lows, there's one here, there's one, well, I'm sorry, there's one right there. Let me grab the eraser. Let me just clear the whole screen. So a nice clear screen. Okay, here's a weekly low, cycle low, I should say, right there. Next cycle low. Big drop, right? Big, huge drop. Not this one. Not such a big drop. That low was 3639. This was 3502. Still pretty significant, but you could see it. You know, the shape went from down like this, the angle changed. Right now it's more shallow. Okay, so the behavior of the market changed. Still going down, but not as aggressively. Clear the distance between this cycle high and this cycle high, this distance right here. Talking about that. You know, if I'm just going to eyeball this. Big difference, right? Look at this difference. Okay? Much smaller. Even if we go all the way back over here, even this one up in here when it was just getting, the bear market was just getting started, was still, both of these two together, individually, are bigger than this gap. That's a big deal. That tells us that the market may be cooling off, the bear market, at least temporarily. Whether or not it's finished, that's a different story. We're not going to get into that right now. Okay, so there's your numbers. There they are. Important numbers on the weekly chart to keep track of, because this is, let me just talk to specifically to my members. This is a public video for everybody to consume. That's great. Which, by the way, if you want to join my membership, it's $5.99. I'll put up on the screen right now before we continue with the video. I put out videos occasionally like I'm doing right now. Also, you get on the nightly email for the $5.99. Guys, that's just dirt cheap. That's crazy cheap. The nightly email, excuse me, I got a little warning going on here telling me to pay attention to something. Let me just turn that off. The nightly email I put out every night, 4 or 5 nights a week, basically my opinion on what I think the stock market's going to do. Okay. Also, you get access to the Discord server, and I'm on there most days, and so are many of the members. Okay, all for $5.99 a month. That's just cheap, guys. I haven't changed the rate in forever and a day, because I know we're in inflation. So if you want to join, you can. Okay, back to the video. So, important numbers to keep track of. So, just talking to my members for a second, a lot of my members, we got new members, which is great. Welcome aboard. It's not just about, are we going up or down? I get this asked all the time, especially from options traders. They want numbers, and they want to know if we're going up or down. Because options, you got to know ahead of time. You got to know strike price, right? I trade mostly futures. I don't have this problem. Okay, I can react to a market quickly with futures. Options, not as quick. They can't react quite as quickly. They're usually locked in to a strike price, and then they got to maneuver and shake and shimmy to get out of it. But what I'm giving to you right now, especially my members, as I'm talking to my members right now, here are the numbers. Okay, if you, on this, since we're talking weekly, if it gets above, like I said, these numbers, in this order, then you know that the market's getting strong. Okay, and we'll look at the daily here in a little bit. Let me just finish off looking at the weekly chart with one other thing. Look at this. I drew this triangle here and then down. See how this? Look at this triangle right here. The peak of it was on the left side. Here's the middle on the left side. And then down. Left-hand translation. That's a kind of a weakish kind of cycle. Let's look at this one. Right smack dab in the middle. Very traditional, or I should say ideal cycle. Peaks right in the middle, comes down. Let's put the middle mark on this one. What did this one do? Yeah, it peaked there. It peaked. But unlike the other cycles, which this one had a little bit right here, unlike the other cycles, this one looped back up and came right back up and touched the 50-week moving average. That's a big deal. That's a change in behavior. Okay? A change in behavior. There is this, when I see a divergence dot in the middle of the bottom of a bowl like this, because I know this indicator pretty well, stochastic momentum index, and I know the logic behind these divergence dots because I put it in there myself, that sometimes means price is going to go up. Okay, so I'm kind of just looking at some things, and I can see the MACD here had a little kiss right there, but then get a little bounce. So on the weekly chart, kind of things look a little strong here. So that's why I'm talking about these numbers above. Okay. Now, the last thing I'm going to look at before we switch to the daily chart here is, you notice I got February 5th. Well, this weekly candlestick is the 23rd. So guess what? We only really have 2 weeks. Next week and the week after. There's only 2 weeks left before this cycle low. Why am I mentioning that? Because there's not a lot of time for it to climb. And if there's anything I learned, well, I learned a lot of things about cycle analysis, but when you get something this late that hasn't declined like it's supposed to, that's usually a sign of strength. Or it can be a sign of strength, it usually is, but it also just means that the climb may not be very deep. So I'm looking at this February 5th, second week of February, and I'm thinking to myself, we may not get a really deep cycle here. Now, I've seen cycle lows happen fast and just drop dramatically, but this has a different behavior to it. Okay, so if we do get this cycle low where I thought it was going to happen, it's not going to be very deep. This could be just getting started and then it goes out later. Okay, and more in the middle of February or maybe late February, and maybe not happen right here where I have it drawn. Okay. All right, so let's go look at the daily. Switch over to the daily. These are the numbers. You can pause the video. This is a big deal. You want to keep track of these numbers. Really big deal. Okay, for your options traders or just people who generally want to know what I think. On the upside, yeah, these are numbers to keep track of. All of these numbers, take your screenshots, pause the video, keep an eye on that. If you see these numbers getting violated, okay, especially that 4034 on the weekly chart and the 4180, you got to really pay attention. Okay, let's switch to the daily chart. Let me get my daily. Okay, and this is a busy chart, forgive me, but to give you a proper analysis and give you the best service, okay, this is the way it's got to be done sometimes, okay. Now you'll notice on this chart I've got some support points on the bottom side instead of the top side. So in the weekly we looked at resistance. Here on the daily I just got support, okay. All right. On the daily chart we got 4110. That's two numbers. Let's talk about two numbers. Two numbers. We're already above the 50-day moving average. I didn't put it on here, but I'll just put it on here. The 50-day simple moving average, SMA. That's supposed to be an S. Okay. 50-day SMA. We're already above that. Okay, it's right here. We're above that. So it broke above that. Okay, came down, got below it, and broke right back above it. So we can forget about that one for now, because it's above it. Okay, what we're trying to determine today, as I'm doing this video, is are we really going to get this dive bomb down here into February? And are we going to get it when I thought we were going to get it? All right, let's look at this upper trend line. Where is it approximately? 40, let's call it 4020-ish. Yeah, 4022. Good enough. Okay. Somewhere in here between 4015 and 4020. Let's just call it 4020. Okay, up here. If it gets above this trend line, above 4020, somewhere in that area approximately, that's also a big deal. Okay, and then above that is 4110 on the daily. Making a mess of things here. Come on, pencil. Those are the two numbers on the daily chart, 4020 and 4110. Don't forget about those weekly numbers as well. All those numbers are important. Okay. You notice I'm talking about numbers above where we are. Because all of this, we're trying to determine where's resistance. You have to trade accordingly. This video is not about, Gittes said we're going down. Gittes said we're going up. No. You can't always get that information. Right? That information isn't always going to be like right at your fingertips. Sometimes it's obvious. Right now, where the market is, no. This is like an inflection point. This is a critical point in the market to see what it's going to do in the next few days or the next week. So we're going to let the market tell us what it's going to do, and then we're going to trade accordingly. That's how you do it. Okay, sometimes, like last week, I said, okay, the market's going down, guys. You can go back and look at my videos from last week. I absolutely positively said there's a really high chance the market's going down because we had some activity down here on the certainty rate that was very confident that the market was going to go down. Sure enough, plus it touched the upper trend line, which helped, came down, went right below the 50-day moving average. You know, I know quite a few, as I mentioned in my previous videos, quite a few of my members made some nice bank here. I made some nice bank myself. All right. So sometimes you're going to get videos like that. They're just like, absolutely, get us. It says we're going down because I know for a fact we're going down. Right now, we're getting mixed signals. We got the certainty rate saying that we're going to have a change in direction, which would be that way. But we got a lot of other stuff that says, no, we're going up. Okay, so it's not so clear. So there are your numbers, 40.20 and 41.10. We get above that 40.20 number, that's, you know, it's starting to show a little strength. And then we're going to see, does the MACD start to widen? Is this going to continue to go up? This, see, the same thing I saw on the weekly chart. When I see dots in the middle of a bowl like that, see there's one right here? Right in the kind of middle of the bowl? What did the price do? Took off. Doesn't always do that. Doesn't always do that. Look, here's some divergence dots. It told us, and we got one right there too. That one was a little bit early, but these told us the price is going to come down. It came down. Look at this. We get dots right in the middle of the bowl. And look, price took off. Now, of course, the SMI is bottoming out, and it's kind of easy, but it isn't always easy. The divergence dots can be very helpful. All right. Now, if I look at the universe, oh my gosh, the universe data has been just, look at it, blasted off. Blasted off, way up here. A big change in energy. Big change in energy. Not just in the marketplace, but in the world. In the universe, to be okay. I'm not going to get into details of that indicator right now. A big energy change. I mean, massive elevated energy, like huge. Just like in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So get ready, because this right here, this big massive energy change is going to filter down into everyday life, and it's going to filter down into the marketplace as well. We just have to wait to see. What does that mean? Is it blast off or big drop? Because it's coming, one way or the other. We may get some drop, then a blast off, but there's going to be a change, and it's going to be pretty big based on what I'm seeing here in this universe data. Is just like Monstersville. Okay. If it stays below the upper trend line, I'm going to finish up this video. Look at this, guys. Look at this. There's no room left here, guys. This is your classic triangle. Prices are getting squeezed into the nose of a triangle, right? This will break out. If we just get into basic candlestick charts, basic candlestick patterns. Here you got a wedge, right? You got this classic wedge triangle, right? It came up, hit the top. Down, hit the bottom. Up, hit the top. Now it didn't quite hit the bottom. Almost. Okay. And now it's going up. Typical oscillation you see when prices being driven into kind of like being driven into a tight spot, right? It's going to break out. I absolutely guarantee this is going to break out. There's no way it's staying inside this small cone. It's either going to do one of these, blast off, or down. Now, you know, jiggy, whatever. One way or another, it's happening. So that's why I said we're at an inflection point in the market. We're waiting to see what this is going to do. Okay. The cycles say, you know, bombs away down into February, March. But man, there's other data saying the opposite. So that's why I'm not in this video. Is I'm just going to finish up right now. That's why I'm not saying get us in this instance. I'm not saying, okay, members, we're absolutely going this way, have high confidence. No. No. Because that would be bad opinion for me to do that. I'm not going to give you a bad opinion. I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. Okay? All right, as I finish up the video, remember what I said earlier in the video. If you want to join, you can join. Hit the join button below this video. $5.99. Also, I'm going to put up on the screen right now, I have a new website that's still being worked on, but you can go over there, gethischarts.com, register for free. In a few months or sooner, hopefully, I'm going to be moving all of the YouTube members over to my new site. Because guess what, guys and gals? YouTube is just videos. You know, it's not a website. You can't put any content up there. I can't provide services that some members may want, right? There may even be some products that I'm going to offer that some members is really going to help them become better traders, maybe even business, right? I can do all that on a website. You can't do it on YouTube. I'll still have the YouTube channel and put up videos, of course, but the website's going to provide a lot better quality service for all the members, okay? So go over there and register for now. Registration will always be free, okay? Once I get the website wrapped up, I'll notify everybody by email, and then you can come. For those that want to join for the $5.99, you'll be paying over there on the website instead of YouTube. For now, payments still are happening on YouTube, okay? That's my take on what I think the stock market's going to do. Hope everybody enjoyed it. God bless all of you. Listen, guys and gals, forgive one another, love one another. I'll talk to you all real soon again next time.